When your cat greets you at the door, it feels simple. They missed you. That's what everyone says. A cute habit, nothing more. But if that's true, why do some cats sit there waiting? Perfectly timed, already watching the door before it even opens. Most people don't question it. They smile, maybe pet their cat for a second, and move on. To them, it's just affection. But something about that moment doesn't fully make sense, because your cat isn't just reacting to you arriving. They were ready for you. And if you look a little closer, that hello might not be a greeting at all. Something about this behavior goes deeper than it looks. Cats are cautious by nature. Every movement they make is calculated. Every place they choose to sit, to rest, to wait, has a reason behind it. And the door? That's not a random spot. It's the one place where everything unknown enters their world. Sounds they don't recognize, smells that don't belong, movement they can't predict. So when your cat places themselves right there, waiting, watching, that's no longer just affection. Most people think their cat is excited to see them, but what if that moment isn't about excitement at all? What if it's about reading you before you even step inside? Because by the time you open the door, your cat already knows more about you than you think. And this is where it starts to change. And if you truly understand what your cat is doing in that moment, you'll stop seeing that door as just an entrance. You'll start seeing it as a checkpoint. Because when you walk in, your cat isn't just noticing that you're home, they're evaluating you, your energy, your movement, your scent, the way you close the door, the way you breathe. Most people believe they hide their emotions well. They think, I'm fine, no one can tell. But your cat doesn't listen to what you say. They read what you are. And here's the part almost no one realizes. That quiet moment at the door is one of the only times your cat gets a full, uninterrupted read of you. No distractions, no noise, just you entering their world. And depending on what they sense, they decide who you are going to be in that moment. Safe, unpredictable, calm, or something to be careful around. Once you see it like that cute greeting doesn't feel so simple anymore. First, the way they look at you, you walk in and your cat pauses. Just for a second. Most people think it's hesitation or indifference. But what's really happening is assessment. They're checking if you move the same way, if your energy feels familiar, if you are still you, and then the approach. Some cats come closer slowly. Others rush in and circle your legs. People call it affection. But it's more precise than that. They're collecting information. Your scent changed while you were gone. New places, new people, maybe even another animal. And to your cat, that matters. So they press against you, not just to greet you, but to rewrite you, to bring you back into their world. Then, the position they choose. Have you noticed they don't just stand anywhere? Sometimes they stay slightly to the side, sometimes directly in front of you, sometimes just out of reach. It's not random. They're placing themselves where they can observe you best without putting themselves at risk. And finally, what they do next. If they stay close, calm, present, that's connection. If they turn and walk away expecting you to follow, that's a request. Every small movement in that moment means something, and when you put it all together, it stops looking like a habit and starts looking like a conversation. And when you start noticing all these small details, something shifts. Because this isn't just a routine your cat repeats every day. It's a pattern built around you. Your cat learns the rhythm of your life. The time you leave, the time you return, the way you sound when you're tired versus when you're calm. Most people think they're the observer, that they're the one watching their pet. But in reality, It's the other way around. Your cat has been studying you in silence, not in an obvious way, not like a dog waiting for commands, but quietly, consistently, building an understanding of who you are. And that moment at the door, that's where all of that knowledge comes together. They compare what they expect with what just walked in. And if something feels off, even slightly, they adjust. Maybe they keep distance. Maybe they come closer than usual. Maybe they watch longer before moving. To you, it feels like nothing. But to them, it's everything. Because your cat isn't just reacting to your presence. They're responding to your state. And once you realize that, you start to understand. They're not just greeting you. They're tuning themselves to you. And here's the part most people never think about. When that greeting changes, it means something. At first, it's subtle. Maybe your cat doesn't come to the door one day. You assume they're asleep, or distracted, or just not in the mood. That's how most people explain it. But cats don't randomly break patterns that matter to them. If your cat has been meeting you at the door every single day, that wasn't an accident. That was a ritual. And rituals don't disappear without a reason. Sometimes it means your cat felt ignored too many times. You walked in, looked at your phone, stepped over them, and moved on. Not in a cruel way, just without noticing. And your cat noticed that. So slowly, quietly, they stopped offering that moment. Other times the change is deeper. Your energy has been different. Your routine shifted. Something in their world no longer feels predictable, and instead of meeting you at the door, they wait from a distance, watching, trying to understand what changed, because that moment was never just about seeing you. It was about connecting with you. And when that connection stops feeling clear, they don't force it, they step back. And most owners only realize something was wrong after the silence has already replaced the greeting. At some point, if you pay close enough attention, everything flips because you realize something uncomfortable. That moment at the door was never really about your cat. It was about you. All this time you thought they were the one waiting. But in reality, they were the one receiving. Think about it. Your cat spends the entire day in the same space. Same smells, same sounds, same predictable world, and then suddenly, you walk in, bringing with you the outside, the unknown, the unpredictable. You are the biggest variable in their entire life. So when they sit at that door, they're not just waiting to see you, they're preparing to understand what just entered their world. Are you calm today? Are you tense? Are you safe to relax around? And here's the part that changes everything. When your cat decides to step closer, when they lower their guard, when they choose to stay near you instead of keeping distance, that's not automatic. That's a decision. A quiet, instinct-level decision that says, you're safe enough for me to be vulnerable. And once you see that, you stop asking, why does my cat greet me? And you start asking something very different. What am I bringing into their world every time I walk through that door? So the next time you open your door, pause. Just for a second. Look at your cat. Not as someone who missed you, but as someone who's been waiting to understand you. Because that small moment you've seen 100 times was never small to them. It was their way of asking one quiet question. Can I relax now that you're here? And every time you walk past them, distracted, rushed, somewhere else in your mind, that question goes unanswered. But when you stop, when you soften your movement, when you let them come close, smell you, read you, you're not just greeting your cat, you're answering them. And maybe the simplest truth is this: your cat doesn't wait at the door because they need you to come home. They do it because you are the part of their world that makes everything feel right again.